Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
What is happening on this beautiful Tuesday, December 30th, here in the capital of Alberta, Edmonton? Yeah, fun fact, Trev. Edmonton is the capital of Alberta. Wasn't always supposed to be that way. Neither was Calgary.
Really?
Yeah. There was some small, you'd laugh at some of the towns that were
in consideration for this?
in big consideration for this.
We talking?
They were all railroad, river
yeah.
associated.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but
If my memory serves me correct, Trevor.
Yes, Jason.
I think, have you ever heard of the town of, I think I'm getting it wrong, but I want to say Castor.
Castor,
Alberta.
I've heard of that town.
Had a big rail. They were kind of the furthest west the railroad had come at that point, I believe, and they had their hand in the pot.
Really?
But I ultimately believe it settled on Edmonton, because it was nicer, probably.
Fair enough.
Probably. And they built the ledge building there, so it's like, well, we got to use this building somehow.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
What is up? My name is Jay Milne, otherwise known as the Glue Guy. We're going to bring Huss on soon from Winnipeg Sports Talk. You got myself and Trev here. A reminder that Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta, who are your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. A reminder, if you haven't yet used your December promo code, do it. Do it now. Do it today. $50 deposit. Use promo code EST Sports, and you get a $50 free bet. And if you haven't yet used the one-time YEG50 promo code, once again, $50 deposit, $50 free bet. Trev, I haven't really, I saw you yesterday.
Yes,
but I haven't talked to you really in depth yet about Christmas. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you were hosting, right?
Well, the weather did cause some slight change of plans.
Did it? Yeah, that sucks.
So get ready for this. I spent Christmas by myself.
Trevor, shut up. Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you call me?
I don't know.
I would have had you over.
I know you would have.
I got room, baby.
I know. I like you were setting that up. Tell me about your. No, you know what?
Oh,
it wasn't.
I'm first of all, I'm sorry the weather got in the way of your family coming to visit you.
It's all good.
But you suck.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You make the most of it, and I had so much fun by myself. I bought a nice bottle of wine. I was making some supper for myself. I was FaceTime all my family, and they were all eating and like, hey. So, no, you know what? It was good. It was good. Make the most of it, and that's exactly what you got to do, and that's what I did, and I had a lot of fun.
Good for you. That's good. I really wish you reached out, because we had a great Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. My whole family came over. We would have loved to have you.
I know. There was people I could have asked for sure, but I was just,
Now, you're of the age where you probably should have New Year's plans.
Oh yeah, I've got 2 parties.
Yeah.
I'm going, and I'm deciding on what one to go to.
Ooh, options.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
My plans are nothing.
Okay, well, that's not
totally entirely true. But I mean, I'm 44, Trev.
Yeah.
I ain't going out. I'm not leaving my house. I can assure you of that. Yes. I have zero desire to leave my house tomorrow night.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah. So we do have some family friends coming over.
Yeah.
That we're just going to have a nice little get together, see where the night leads us.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, the days of going out, buying tickets for something.
Yeah, no. Like, not my thing. Not up my alley. Let's go to a party, or let's just chill.
Yeah, house parties would be fun.
That's what I'm doing.
House parties would be fun.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's exciting. And you're right. Maverick said it in the nasty chat. EST 50, not YAG 50. So my mistake. I will add that as a goof up. And we will get to what happened last night. And I'm going to talk with Huss about it here because it was an interesting night, to say the least, surrounding Jay's play of the day, which I admitted on our show, the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I admitted that it was selfish of me. And I'll get into why. And Huss will appreciate it. He'll know what I was doing. And lo and behold, that baby hit. So with that, I think it's time to bring in the big man himself. Huss, how are you doing today?
Well, I mean,
that's a loaded question. I understand.
I'm fine. I'm happy to be doing the show with you. It's always a pleasure. We don't get to do this very often.
Yes.
So what's up, Jay? I think like a lot of people here in Winnipeg, you're just shaking your head. Like, what the hell does this team have to do to win a damn game?
Yeah.
Like that might have been the best game they played all year last night.
Huss, okay, so, there's so many questions. Okay, so yes, Edmonton did not deserve to win that game. But, Calvin Pickard was lights out. 41 saves. What is that, a 976 save percentage? How frustrating is that for the Winnipeg Jet faithful to see the team that has been close? What were their last 3 losses prior to that one goal, or was it their last 5?
Oh, I think it's the last 5, and a couple of them have been in overtime, so at least they got points. Here's the thing, and we've been talking about this all year. The Jets are basically, the funny thing is the way they built this team, they've done the hard part. They've got a truly elite top line. They've got an elite number 1 defenseman, and they've got one of, if not the best goalie in the league. The drop-off after that is significant. Now, listen, I thought Sandberg and Pionk were awesome last night. They really stepped up. But there is just no secondary scoring. These guys are so snake-bit. It was nice to see the captain get one last night. But, I don't know how many shots the Jets had on those 3 power plays, but the puck never got out of the Oiler end. And you're right. Calvin Pickard was awesome, but there's also a knack of this Winnipeg team to make a lot of average goalies look pretty damn good. And I think it was a combination of the 2 last night. But, listen, if they were in a different situation, you can sort of handle that. Hey, you go out and play like that and you're going to win 9 times out of 10. They don't have any wiggle room right now. This team is now 15, 18, and whatever they have in the OT losses. We're getting to the halfway point of the season. They're at the bottom of the league in the standings right now. So that was, these 2 games coming out of the break really concerning from a Winnipeg perspective, in that you're playing 2 great teams in Minnesota and Edmonton. You realize what your predicament is, and you go out and play 2 of your best games of the season, and you have 1 point to show for it. Arneal after the game last night was almost at a loss for words. He said, listen, we played for 60 minutes exactly the way we planned to. We did, a great job shutting down 2 of the best players on the planet. We generated a ton. We outshot them 2-1, and you end out. I was joking with some friends that Logan Stanley should be investigated for match fixing for that turnover that gave. Like, was your play of the day a Max Jones anytime goal by any chance?
that would have been bigger than my big hit I had last night, Huss. That would have been a big number for sure. But maybe that's the biggest. And obviously, I say this partially joking, but partially not. Some of those fired up Scott Arneal post-game pressers are gold. They're gold, baby. And now I feel bad because Winnipeg and the NHL is being stripped of some of the most entertaining post-game pressers because he's just standing there saying, we played great. We did everything we were supposed to do, but we lost. I feel bad for Scott Arneal. His passion, his fire in post games has totally been clipped.
Yeah, there's a Murphy's Law element to this team right now. And, I think I might have said this to Dusty yesterday, or maybe it was on my show. I can't remember. But, as a Chiefs guy, like last year, everyone was wondering, like, okay, this team isn't that good. How the hell are they winning all these games? And I think they won an NFL record 11 one-goal games last year. And then this year it sort of caught up to them. All those one goal games or one score games that they were winning last year, they were on the wrong end of this year, and now they're playing for nothing on the weekend, and they won't be part of the playoffs. The Jets were awesome last season for the full 82. They deserve the President's Trophy. They had that great start. They didn't take the foot off the gas, and they did so many things right. And for whatever reason, and a big part of it is the fact that the guys that have come in just haven't been able to score and click, and it's kind of taken a real step back, kind of the middle and the bottom of the lineup, is that they're not winning games right now. But I mean, this very crucial month coming up, I mean, we're basically going to find out, because let's face it, I mean, when they came in, this was a team that felt that they had a very good chance to push another step further and really compete for a cup. Well, I mean, it's the exact opposite right now as opposed to where they are. And even the best case scenario in reality, say they go 11, 12 games above 500 in these final 45 and they get to 91, 92 and scratch in at the 8th spot. I mean, there's 7 teams I think we can just give them playoff spots right now. I mean, Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota have locked up the Central Division.
Yeah.
You've got the Ducks, you've got the Oilers, you've got Vegas and the Kings, who I think are all going to be the top 3 plus one of the wild cards. And then you've got all these mid teams battling for this final playoff spot. So if they don't get on a significant run and put a string of wins together and get on the right side of 500 and get closer to that spot in the next 3 weeks or so, I mean, basically going into the Olympic break, this team and the organization might have to completely pivot from what has been the plan all along. And then you're talking about selling some pieces or getting some other assets. And I think it's a very difficult thing for a team that felt like they were going to be a real contender coming off the season that they had, to do a 180 like that when it was never in the cards. But a very interesting start to the season for the Jets. Tell me about the play of the day yesterday. I mean, I've heard much. What was it?
Okay. So on the show yesterday, we have every day Jay's play of the day. And we have a rule on our show that we don't generally talk about fantasy football, because the only people that care about fantasy right now, especially, are those that just won their league, because this was the last season. So I didn't want to talk about it too much, but I was in the league final. Okay. I made it to 14-team league. I'm in the final. And I had Bijan Robinson and Matt Stafford last night. My opponent, who was up on me by 25 points, had Puka Nacua. So I said, okay, let's say Stafford and Nacua kind of balance each other out. I need a monster night from Bijan Robinson, which he's capable of. He is streaky. He is very streaky. So I put together a selfish Jay's play of the day.
You manifested a win.
I manifested it, Huss. I said, screw this. What a point in my life where I can manifest to the Play Alberta gods a fantasy football win, a very nice play of the day win for all those that ride with the glue guy. So I put together Bijan Robinson, 2 or more touchdowns, and over 4.5 receptions. It was plus 740. And that thing banged out by the third quarter, Huss. So yeah, it's going into the Estes folder as a play of the year. But here's the funniest thing about it. My wife and I and the girls were sitting. The Oilers game had finished, so we're now watching the Monday Night Football game. And I told my wife, she knows about my fantasy league. She knew I was in the final, and I told her I tied Bijan Robinson to my own selfish play. And she says, okay, well, this adds something to it. And I said, and by the way, Bijan scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. All he needs is 2 more receptions. And this is a big day for the Milne family. So we're all cheering for a Bijan catch. And he gets one. And then like 2 plays later, because they love that little short screen game, 2 plays later, Bijan gets his 5th reception. And we did it. And I was now winning in fantasy. Like everything was pointing up. And so, as most people that make public plays want to do, is we want to have a victory lap too.
Celebrate the win.
Right? So I went on Twitter And I usually requote it and I say, cash it, celebrate, let's go. And I'm looking, Huss, and none of my tweets are there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because every show, this is a little behind the scenes for those of you that don't know, and I'm sure you guys have your way of doing it at WST, Huss, is I get together and for every segment we have, I prepare tweets and I schedule them for a specific time.
Yeah.
Okay. But as you know, when you get to the end of the month, sometimes it rolls over into the next month. So you have to change all the dates. It's not, so little did I know, I was scheduling all these tweets for December 29th, 2026. So here I am wanting to celebrate, and nobody even knows about this play unless you were listening to the show live or unless you're actively checking.
Pays to listen.
Pays to listen. So once again, it was an interesting night. Did you have any? Was fantasy over for you? So, but yeah, I did win fantasy. I won it going away on the back of 44 points from Bijan Robinson.
That's incredible. Yeah, the Bijan and McCaffrey were the league winners. Like if you had those guys and you were lucky enough to be in the final, those guys took you to the victory. No, I'm still smarting. In fact, I have had a great week on the old account. I had the Falcons last night, and I had a 3-game. I had the Falcons last night, and I'm just looking at this. I had a 3-gamer in hockey. Panthers over the Caps, Buffalo over the Blues, and Minnesota over the Golden Knights. So that one cashed at plus 550. So that was nice. But no, my fantasy season was over as part of the worst weekend of my. It was a combo: betting life, fantasy life, fan life. 2 weeks ago, first week of the fantasy playoffs, I'm in 7 leagues. I was in the playoffs in 5. First of all, I went 0 for 5 against the spread with the picks that weekend. Oh, no. And then I went 0 for 5 in fantasy, which is just about impossible. Stop. The math of you have guys on some teams you're playing against. You couldn't do that. Any random team, if you take 5 separate fantasy teams in different leagues and roll those out, the chances of going 0-5 or 5-0 on any given week are incredibly small. So 0-5 in betting, 0-5 in fantasy, and then the Chiefs lose and Mahomes tears his ACL. Yeah. I just walked out. I'm like, this is definitely rock bottom. Yeah. And to, I guess, maybe manifesting it since then, I've been on an absolute heater.
Well, deserving. You're very deserving of it because
I definitely paid the dues. I'd give it all back for Patrick Mahomes' ACL.
Okay, let's get into that because that was one of my topics of conversation. I have to talk to you about it. I know it's relatively recent, okay? But was this not an ACL, MCL? Was this not the full meal deal?
I think it was ACL, LCL.
LCL. So this is a serious injury. Now, here's what I think everybody would think you would point at, Huss, is that, okay, look at Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady recovered from a similar injury. My question to you is this, though. Is this version of the Chiefs dynasty, I mean, you have to call it a dynasty, is it over? Is it or do you think the band can get back together? Or do you think the band is going to want to maybe try out a different city?
Well, the band is going to get some new players. I will say that. It's funny. I'm away on Monday and Friday and Monday because I'm going to Vegas. I will be in attendance for the Raiders trying to lose for the number 1 pick and the Chiefs trying to lose to get the 8th overall pick in the league. So
what a time to be alive.
Well, and what the funny thing is, my friend that has Raiders season tickets said, Huss, I'll give you the Chiefs seats. This is at the, before the schedule even came out. I'm like, oh, perfect. So then when we see when the game is, I'm like, oh, it's week 18. And I'm like, well, no problem. I'm still going to go. It'll be a fun time to get away right after the holidays. But I mean, Mahomes and the guys are probably going to be resting because they'll be getting ready for the first round of the playoffs. Never did I think that they would not be playing because they would already be eliminated. So that was sort of a side. But as far as the question about where the Chiefs go from here, listen, it's all about Mahomes, right? I mean, yep. if he doesn't rehab properly and misses half the season or something like that, then, I mean, I think all bets are off. The fact of the matter is, though, the guy really is built differently. Mm-hmm. He had surgery the next day and apparently already has 90% range of motion, in the knee. So that sounds great so far. There's no doubt that this is going to be a very different offseason. Like, you would think that finally, after playing all these playoff games, you're going to miss the playoffs. Okay, you can just relax and rest. He's going to have the toughest offseason of his career because he'll be recovering from this. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the guy has just won. He's such a leader. Like, I think he'll be back, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's back for week one.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if there's anybody that you would like to have and trust in during the rehab process, because all it is whether you're doing the work or not. That's it.
Yeah.
If you're doing the work and you can beat the timeline, right? And as long as you have no setbacks. But if there's one person you were going to look at and say, I bet you he can beat the timeline, because right now it's 2 to 3 weeks into the season is when he's scheduled to start. But you have belief that you feel he could possibly be back.
Listen, for week one. Even if it's a couple weeks, it's a couple weeks. Yeah. You want him to be around the team through training camp and all of that. The biggest question about the Chiefs is, some of the other, the other player, like they haven't had a real solid running back. I mean, Pacheco's had a seat, like they haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher in forever. I think they'll definitely look to improve that position. They spent their first round pick on a tackle last year who was great, and he disappeared from the team. He came back and he was knocked out at the end of the year. And that was the thing that really sucked. The game that Mahomes got hurt in, I mean, they were playing with practice roster guys at tackle, which you don't want that to be the last line of defense for your franchise quarterback. And you do wonder what the receiving core is going to look like. And obviously there's the one thing about this game that I'll be at is there's a chance that it's Kelsey's final game. And all year long, I thought that, okay, this is going to be his last season. He's engaged. He's going to be getting married to Taylor, and then they kind of live happily ever after. But never in a million years did I think that this final game could be a nothing meaningless game in Vegas against the Raiders with Mahomes nowhere to be seen. And here's the thing.
It's sad to think about, really.
Well, it is. And you know what? And Kelsey's actually had a really good season. I mean, you look at the tight end numbers in the league, and I think he's 2 or 3 in yardage. Trey McBride, I think, was running away with it. Like, the guy can still play. Now, his contract is up. He's getting married at the beginning of June. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make an announcement about retiring and says, you know what, I'm going to think about that at another time, goes out, gets married, takes most of the summer away, but stays in shape, and then comes in sort of at the end of training camp and then, does a 1-year deal that they can fit in under the cap. I mean, obviously money's not going to be an issue for this guy. I just have a feeling that he'll want his final game to be a game that means something, and with 15 throwing him the football. Like, those guys are that close. So I've kind of come around on the other side. I thought for sure this would be his last year. And now if I had to bet one way or the other, I bet he plays games for the Chiefs next season, whether that's at the start of the season or not. So, I mean, the crazy thing is, though, Jay, and we should get into this. I'm interested in your thoughts right now, especially post last night's game. Like, if you look at the odds board for the Super Bowl, the AFC, the NFC, it is as wide open as I think maybe it has legitimately ever been. The Rams were the favorite yesterday. I haven't checked it today.
Now it's the Seahawks. So the Seahawks are plus 515, Rams plus 575, Broncos at 755, 49ers at plus 860. Huss, I have this written down right on my notes here, okay? NFL playoff picture. Are the 49ers the team to beat in the NFC. And then I follow that up with, who are the big dogs? Like, I am the most lost, Huss, that I think I've ever been leading into the NFL playoffs as to who is actually the team. And here's what's going to happen. And you know this is going to happen. By the time the Super Bowl comes around, you're like, gosh darn it, why didn't I see this team earlier? Why didn't I look at the path, and that's why, are the 49ers could the 49ers make a run? If they win next week, when Seattle goes down to Santa Clara, they stay at home. They have the opportunity to play in their home stadium all the way through the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Won't even touch the suitcase since the third last game of the season.
Like, that's big.
And listen,
Fred Warner looks to be coming back too.
As we went through this, I mean, I kind of was talking about the Niners when they were 20-1 2 weeks ago. I'm like, hold on a sec. Look at these games that they have coming up. They're getting healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Purdy's back. Kittle, I know Kittle missed last game, but he should be back for that final game next week against Seattle. And then you add it all in. Like, there's some special value with San Fran because of that home field advantage that they're going to have in this big game. Interestingly enough, and are they still a dog in this game?
Yesterday it was 1 point, right?
Yeah, and then it's still there. I really thought that it would be San Fran -1.5 or -2, and it's Seattle -1. And I think it's like, listen, if you watch the game Sunday night, they did incredible things offensively, but that defense, they don't get to the quarterback. And I mean, they got torched at times by the Bears. So
but that offense, from what I've seen the past couple of weeks, because speaking of fantasy, I also had Brock Purdy as my other quarterback. Yeah. And I had Jonathan Taylor as my second running back. They pretty much handed me the league. Anyways, I digress. Brock Purdy and that offense look unstoppable, Huss. They look like a train. And you know what it is. Every year this happens, you say the team that's coming into the playoffs with the most head of steam, the most positive, juju, call it whatever you want, is the team that gets rolling, and they can carry that through the playoffs. I don't know why that game against Chicago said to me that this team is legit, even though there are defensive issues for sure. But if you're an offense that can continually put up numbers and continually utilize the passing game, Christian McCaffrey, and like I said, Fred Warner, I believe, especially if they get this win Sunday, they get the bye, Fred Warner could be back for the entire playoff run, which is a huge piece of that defense.
Oh, if you told me right now that they are going to get Fred Warner back, I think I might say that they are the team. Now, I don't want to overlook the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have an incredible defense. Obviously Mike McDonald, the former D coordinator for the Ravens, has come in and sort of tried to build a defense that reminded you of some of those lethal Ravens attacks in the past. And then, I mean, they've got two good running backs. They've got arguably the best receiver in the game in JSN. I'm still waiting. And I mean, I'm a Sammy Darts fan. I like Darnold. It was fun to watch what he did last year, going to 14-3. But unfortunately, you remember the last two games of the year. They were 14-2. They lost to the Lions, and then boom, they were one and done. So there is an element of Darnold, as great as he's been this year, doing it again. One of only four quarterbacks, Dusty was dropping this one yesterday, ever to have back-to-back 13-win seasons. There is an element that he's going to need to get over. Now, this is going to feel like a playoff game. I mean, if they can go in and beat the Niners in San Francisco, then I think we have to just say, listen, the Seahawks are the standard right now in the NFC. But all you need to do is look at the odds board, and it'll tell you that no one really knows. I mean, there's no solid favorite right now. I mean, for the Super Bowl favorite to be over 5-1 at this point, is, I mean, at the start of the year, the favorite was lower than 5.5 to 1.
Have you seen a board like this in recent? Can you recall seeing a board this close to the postseason?
listen, they've always been, listen, let's face it, over the course of the past 20 years, there's always either been Mahomes, Brady, or Manning in the playoffs with an elite team with a Super Bowl pedigree that has made them favorites or at least right near the top of the board. And if there's someone else that had a monster season, they're there too. I mean, you look at what the odds are right now in Vegas, PA, wherever you're looking at it, all it'll tell you is that literally almost any team that is in the playoffs right now, it's the old poker adage, a chip in a chair. And there is going to be 14 teams at this table. And like a poker game, depending on what happens and how the cards come out, literally almost anybody can win. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh can win. I don't think certainly Carolina or Tampa, whoever survives that division, won't be it. Even the Ravens, if they got in on the final day of the season in the last game, if Lamar's out there looking at the rest of the AFC, I mean, I could see the Ravens going on a bit of a run. But I mean, this group in the middle, like, who are the Jags? What about the Texans? New England with Drake May. The Bills, who should be the favorite. I mean, they were at the start of the year. I mean, they're now like 10-1.
Yeah, they're 10-1.
It's the Josh Allen show, and they're going to need to be going on the road the entire playoffs. So I really don't know. The numbers that attract me the most, I do think that there's something to be said for the Houston Texans based on just how elite that defense is.
Mm-hmm. You can't deny it now. You cannot deny it. It's legit.
Defense travels. Travels, and they'll have to win a couple games on the road. But they're the one team that I think, listen, if you're Denver or if you're New England, I mean, that's the team that I don't think you're really too excited about playing because of the pressure that's going to be putting on your offense and your young quarterback. But the Jags are the other team that, like, I was not a believer at all in them, and I've just sort of been waiting for them to fall off. They've been brilliant in the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that win that they had when they went in and spanked the Broncos at Mile High a couple weeks ago, I think it was 34-17. That was coming off the Jets game. And I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence put up 44 fantasy points or whatever, 5 touchdowns, round one end. Great. The Jets are like a D2 NCAA caliber team right now. Yeah. Do it against a good team. And then they go in against the top team in the AFC, great defense at home, and put that up. Like, put it this way, I'm more intrigued in Jacksonville than I've been in a long time. And then, like, what do you think about New England and Denver? I mean, the records are what they are. They're 13-3. They're going to be the 1 and 2 seeds.
I just wonder about the inexperience at the quarterback position and how important that is as you get further into the NFL playoffs and having some of these coordinators that know they're going to be teeing off on a second-year quarterback in Drake May or Bo Nix. Are they putting up incredible numbers this season? Heck yeah. Drake May obviously better than Bo Nix and Bo Nix in terms of numbers, but when you combine the two, I still would have more belief in the Denver Broncos than I do in the New England Patriots. I just don't trust Drake May yet. I just don't know if there's enough of a body of work. You saw Bo Nix last year take off and accelerate towards the end of the season, and he picked up right there to start this season. Drake May, that's my case. If I had gun to my head, I had to pick 2 teams out of those 2. I'd probably say the Denver Broncos have a better chance at going further in the playoffs, and because of their defense as well.
Yeah. 2 great coaches. I think that Peyton's offensive mind, I think, will be able to design something to put Bo Nix in the best chance to succeed. But he's been, like, sometimes he's looked great and other times he hasn't. I think Drake May, to be honest, has had the better season just as a quarterback.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's he's minus 370 right now for the MVP. Drake May.
Is Whoa. After last night's game?
Yeah. It switched.
Oh, my God.
Stafford's now plus 260. Drake May is minus 370. Yeah.
Because we could have got him even like 2 weeks ago at probably 10-1.
Crazy how fast that changed.
And then everybody else, there was like Allen and May, but it was seemingly after that Thursday nighter, we went for 450 in the loss. That was sort of the game. Okay, Darnold versus Stafford, whoever wins this game. Well, Darnold won the game, but Stafford was
incredible.
And okay, then I think he was basically like minus 300 or something after that game. That is wild. I think you can take that for what it's worth. I mean, if I don't know if I'd go jump on Matt Stafford right now. I guess if you had a Drake May at 5, 8, 10-1, and you want to cover yourself on the other side at plus 260, you can get on Stafford.
What do you think about? Because if you, I'm just trying to now wrap my head around something we can put together. It would be, unless you want to go back and dive into hockey tonight, where we could put together something here for the Super Bowl. You got the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. Those are 3 of the top 4 betting odds to win the Super Bowl. Okay? If you wanted to take a little bit of a calculated risk at this, would you not look at the Super Bowl winning division and look at the NFC West sitting there at plus 130?
Oh, that's actually quite interesting because
the only problem is that I think they're going to eat themselves at one point. One of these teams is going to have to play each other, so you're going to knock one of them out. Obviously, inevitably you would.
Second round, but I'm pretty sure the divisional round right now is going to have 3 of the 4 teams playing in the NFC are going to be those 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like whoever wins, whether it's Seattle or whether it's the Niners, I'll like the 5 seed and the Rams to win. Like, who are they going to have to beat? Like, one team's going to have to beat the Panthers
Eagles
or the Bucks, and the other team is going to need to beat the Eagles.
And I think that's doable.
Oh, listen, the Eagles, I cannot wait until they lose. And that punk Nick Sirianni will be able to get hit. The most easily hateable
he's the most smug coach.
Yes.
Like, I think I caught you talking about it yesterday, but I just want to say bravo. Because shut the you-know-what up, Nick Sirianni. You got away with that game by the skin of your teeth, and you have the gumption to walk back and say, no, they didn't believe in us. No, shut up.
Not so loud anymore, are they?
Yeah, shut up, Nick Sirianni. You look like a doofus. Like, I'm sorry. That is a bad look.
He is. Even the Eagle fans that I know don't like him.
Yeah, that's just a bad look. I mean, Eagles fans, it'd be interesting to know where Eagles fans, and actually speaking of which, the people that are coming over on New Year's Eve are family friends. He is a big Eagles guy, so I despise him. But I would still like to get his take on what he thinks the actual, because there is the thought process, hey, get into the playoffs, anything can happen. But I just don't know if we can look past the opportunity to get in on the NFC West winning. That number seems a little down to me, but I could get it boosted probably to closer to plus 150 for the Super Bowl winning division to be from the NFC West.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they would. I think a lot of people would love to get a piece of that. I mean, that's certainly where the strength of the NFC is. Now, again, they got to win it. Another interesting one would be, to make the divisional round where you take 2 of those teams and a couple of the teams that you like in the AFC to make that divisional round. Like, I'm just looking right now. So the Texans are in all likelihood going to be going to Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers will be going to Jacksonville in all likelihood. And Jacksonville did pound the Chargers when they played there a little earlier this year. What's the Jags number? Like, it's kind of funny. I like Houston and Jacksonville to make it to the divisional round. Now, the Seahawks, just looking at these numbers, Seahawks to make the divisional round minus 769. Niners minus 345, which is kind of crazy because the winner of this game on the weekend is in the divisional round. Like, they don't have to play wild card weekend.
That's true.
And the number for Seattle to be so much bigger than the Niners.
I have them the same. I have them both at plus 135 to make the divisional round.
Plus 135?
Or sorry, that's the stage of elimination. Sorry, Huss.
Oh, okay.
So for them to be eliminated in the divisional round,
not make it to the conference championship.
That's right.
Games.
That's right.
I'm seeing even money to make the conference championship on Denver and Seattle. Both. You can tell as a Chiefs guy, I cannot wait to bet against the Broncos in the playoffs.
I love it. That's okay.
Very excited on that. But you know what I think? Yeah, go see if you can do something because that's a nice, simple one that I think people can get on.
It's simple. I know there's a lot of 49ers faithful, I believe they call themselves, that are in a part of the Edmonton Sports Talk network. So they might like that. And just looking at it, I personally believe in the San Francisco 49ers more than I do the Seahawks, which then says, okay, I think there's a high likelihood that the Super Bowl could be won by a team from the NFC West.
I agree.
Like I looked at, and so this might be a San Francisco 49er day on Edmonton Sports Talk because I'm also looking at for Jay's play of the day coming up later on the Reed Wilkins show for the 49ers to win the NFC Championship. And they were able to boost that to plus 500. So 5-1.
Listen, they win this game at home.
I know.
Then they got to win 2 home games to get.
If they win this game at home, Huss, you know that number's cut in half, maybe into 2/3.
Yes.
Right?
So it goes from 5 to 2.
Exactly. So you might as well, put your eggs in one basket and say, I think that San Francisco is going to win at home this weekend, which will then keep that number. Well, then you'll get that number at an extremely good value.
Reg Dunlop is triggered about talking about the Chiefs. Reg says he's not playing in 2026. You talking about Mahomes or you're talking about Kelsey, Reg? Mahomes 100% will play in 2026.
He was talking about at that point Mahomes. So Mahomes will, it's not really in question whether he plays or not. It's a matter of how early into the season he gets there.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what? I am interested for everyone that's with us on YouTube in the chat. You're looking at the board right now. It's as wide open. What's the best value bet? Like if you were going to put $10 on a team to win the Super Bowl, knowing that there's no sure bet, but a team that you think can win that has the best number, what is that team right now? I'd be interested to know what the Nasties have to say about that.
If I was to give you 3 of the top 8, I would still be hammering the Buffalo Bills at 10-1. I'd be on New England at 9-1, and the San Francisco 49ers 8.5-1. I mean, if you're saying you're putting $10 down and you're just looking to get the best bang for your buck, because and it is really a crapshoot because we've discussed this already. You look at these odds right now; they're out to lunch compared to where they would have been in past years this close to the playoffs.
No, for sure. I'll tell you what, I like the number on the Texans. As I say, I just think that they have the best defense in the NFL. They're going to have to win a couple games on the road. I do think it travels well, and I would not I think they could go in and beat New England or beat Denver on the road. CJ Stroud's going to have to step up, but we have seen him before.
That's the question I have, though. Yeah,
well,
CJ Stroud.
But I have that same question over Knicks. I got that question for Drake May come playoff time. I've got it basically for everyone except for Josh Allen. And then you saw what happened on Sunday, where he plays really well in the fourth quarter, gets them back in, and in the big moment, misses a throw to a wide open guy, and they lose. So, I mean, it is fascinating. What about the Jags at 13-1? They've been crushing teams lately. And as I say, that win in Denver might be the most impressive win we've seen of all of those teams in the last month, as far as what was expected. And that was a real eye-opener, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people around. Okay, maybe we need to start taking the Jags seriously. Because, again, that's what you're going to need to do. You want to go to the Super Bowl through the AFC, you're probably going to have to go in and beat the Broncos in Denver. And they did it soundly just 2 weeks ago in a massive game that was high leverage for both teams.
Is this the best time of the year, Huss? I mean, there's Christmas,
fun.
There's New Year's, there's NFL playoffs, World Juniors, has got to be up there as well. Is this the best time of the year?
I would say it's a contender, like football playoffs. I mean, it's for those of us in Edmonton and Winnipeg, when we look out our windows right now, sometimes it's difficult to say it's the best time of the year with what we're dealing with, but it's a pretty good sports time. I mean, the NFL playoffs are the best, much like the Monday after the Super Bowl, the darkest day of the year.
That should be a stat holiday.
Well, you can sort of just focus in. Good thing for us is, though, it won't be as depressing this year because that Super Bowl is going to be played and we are right into Olympic hockey.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Incredible. And that'll help us out through the dark days of February. And then you come back in March and it seems like, it's a bit of a sprint, tons of hockey games at home.
March Madness.
And, yeah. Well, from a betting
think of that. We're going to go from the NFL playoffs into the Olympics, into March Madness, into the Masters. Boom.
And the playoffs.
And the playoffs, of course. And then it's summer. I mean, Huss, we can see the end in sight already. You might as well just declare it summer. The days are getting longer. I mean, this is a great time. We only have a few minutes left, but before we check in on what's coming up on WST, I wanted to ask you, and you may have already talked about this, but you can give me the abbreviated version. My middle daughter is a massive Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Love it.
So what's going on? What's the feeling about this team moving? I mean, they're moving to to Kansas. Well, I'll tell you what, my friends back in KC are really choked about it. Now they're KCMO and relatively close to Arrowhead. It usually takes us about 15 minutes, 20 minutes max to get there and back. It'll certainly change it. I mean, where the stadium is, I think they'd be losing a lot by moving from Arrowhead. I mean, it's an iconic place. It is perfect. They've got, the entire tailgate culture is built out of the fact that there's nothing else there. You got the K and you got Arrowhead and you got, I don't know how many acres of parking. And that's why they've created that tailgate culture because you don't really have any other options. You move that thing out to Kansas and what is been reported is that it's going to be one of these new age stadiums with a roof. I mean, that as a guy that sat through the fourth coldest game in NFL history there, the elements, much like Buffalo, KC are a big part of it. So I hate the idea of them moving across the state line. I mean, listen, people will still be there at the games and all that, but I think even more so, taking the elements out of it and just being another dome team, while could be good in some ways, especially in the second half of Mahomes' career. I mean, maybe this is all setting up for a Mahomes, another 5-year run.
Yeah. Well, think about what Brady did after his 8th season where he tore his ACL, missed that year, missed the playoffs. What happened after that? I mean, the second half of Brady's career is arguably more impressive than the first half.
Yeah.
Now, he's Tom Brady, and that's a pretty high bar. But up till this point, you look at their accomplishments and everything, they're very much on par. Now, the question is, can you play another 12 years and win another 3 or 4 rings? Pretty high standard. But yeah, as far as this is not done though. I will say just on the stadium, I think that could be like, it's got to go. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of people that get in, and I think there will be another chance for Missouri to sort of bail it out. I hate it though. Like, I mean, your owners are just playing states off of each other to get more of your money. And I mean, whatever. The Hunts have done a lot for the community. They built a great team. I'm not going to kill them, but like these NFL owners really need millions of tax dollars when their franchises are worth literally billions. I don't think so. Hey, before we go, have you watched much of the juniors?
Yeah, but not. I'm not like. We talked about these yesterday. Bring on the playoff. Like, bring on the elimination games. Really. I mean,
bring on this game tomorrow night against the Finns.
That's true. That's a big game. And like I think around New Year's Eve is when I think a lot of people will start to, now these games are against quality opponents. You're not, beating Denmark 5-0. You're now into the thick of it. Then yes, that it'll be on the Millen TV for sure. You?
I did worry about Canada squeaking by Latvia in overtime and then seeing Finland outshoot them 37-4 or whatever and win 8-0. I mean, like, are we sure that was the same team? So, I mean, it's funny. And like, Canada's always a huge favorite in these World Junior games, like way, way, way overvalued. Like, if I had no skin in the game and I didn't have any national rooting interest, I would look at these numbers that we're getting on the teams playing Canada.
Yeah.
I'd be all over it. And listen, they were a big, heavy favorite this year. And I mean, so far, listen, they've got, their wins, but they haven't looked as advertised, maybe compared to the rest of the tournament. So I'm really interested in that Finland game tomorrow night. And then, we'll see where it shakes out, but the playoff games will be really good. We got to wait till tomorrow night for that game anyways. I'm sure we'll touch on it. 5 games in the league tonight. Few home dogs. Leafs home dog to the Devils. Pittsburgh home dog to the Hurricanes. Blackhawks home dog to the Islanders. Canucks home dog to the Flyers. The only favorite of all the 5 games tonight at home was the Florida Panthers. And they might not even feel like a home team because they got the Habs. And if you know anything about South Florida, especially in the winter when the Montreal Canadiens are there, it looks like Edmonton or Calgary or Winnipeg with the amount of fans there. But that was a big win for Florida last night.
Huss, what's coming up? What's coming up before we get out? What's coming up on WST today?
Well, we are going to go through all the gory details of a great effort for the Jets last night, but a loss. We'll hear from Scott Arneal, Captain Adam Lowry, pal Brandon Ricky's going to jump on, Ken Weeb as well. And then Sean Shapiro will join us to talk about a little bit of World Juniors. And while we all freak out about who's going to be on Team Canada tomorrow, I'm going to fill us in on the Yanks and a little bit on Team USA. So a lot of hockey talk coming up on the program in a couple minutes over at WST.
All right, so make sure you check that out, you WSTers. Thank you for tuning in to the Lock Shop today. Huss, Happy New Year, buddy.
Right back at you, Glue Guy. All the best to you and your fam. And we'll be back tomorrow for one more show in 2025. Hopefully get a few winners for you. But good luck tonight. And yes, congrats to the Oil and all their fans for the win last night. One more crack at you guys next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yeah. We'll see you not too long. Just before you go, that NFC West team winning the Super Bowl, that was boosted to plus 145. So that is going up as the Lock Shop partner parlay over at Play Alberta. All right, well, we got to get out. We've got 2 guys and a goalie coming up, followed by EST Afternoons with guest host Matthew Iwanek and Joaquin Gage. And then from 3 to 6, we have the Reed Wilkins Show, where Reed and I will take our stabs at the Canadian men's Olympic roster. So you're going to want to tune in and see who we have in, who we have out from 3 to 6 p.m. today. As always, thank you for listening to us on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as YouTube, iHeart, and TuneIn apps. We'll catch you later.